Okay, so a lot of stuff went down last night. A lot of trades were official, but the biggest trade I want to talk about is Chris Paul going to the Golden State Warriors and Jordan Poole going to the Washington Wizards. Now, if you haven't been following, Chris Paul was traded to the Washington Wizards because of the Bradley Beal deal. And I told you guys I just did not see Chris Paul staying with the Washington Wizards. As we all know, the Washington Wizards are starting all over. They're in rebuild mode, and there's really no use for Chris Paul staying with the Washington Wizards. So you knew he was going to be traded. It just no one knew that it was going to be this fast, this quick. So Chris Paul is going to the Golden State Warriors, and Jordan Poole is going to the Washington Wizards. So let's talk briefly about Chris Paul to the Golden State Warriors. I think this is a veteran decision, a basketball veteran decision. I believe that Chris Paul is going to be more impactful to the Golden State Warriors. A lot of little things that they were not getting with Jordan Poole. Now, they're going to miss the offense of Jordan Poole. They're going to miss the athleticism of Jordan Poole. They're going to miss the youth of Jordan Poole. But all the little things that Jordan Poole wasn't able to do, the intangibles, they're going to get with Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul has a huge contract, okay, understandable. But by making this push and making this decision, the Golden State Warriors are going to try to make a serious push to not only make it to the playoffs, but be a strong contender in the playoffs. You know, you're getting leadership with Chris Paul. You're getting experience from Chris Paul, and Chris Paul will understand his role. All right. So this is great for the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you want to call it the bad side, yeah, Chris Paul has been injury prone. I think they're going to monitor his minutes. There will be some games, some instances where Chris Paul may start, but nevertheless, I think Chris Paul is going to be coming off the bench. And there might be some games where they'll switch. Draymond Green will come off the bench, and Chris Paul will come off the bench, okay? And I think Chris Paul understands that. He's, he's not a young buck no more. He understands that he's getting older, and he's not a diva. And that's not what you're going to get from Chris Paul. So this is going to be very beneficial for the Golden State Warriors. Now, to the Washington Wizards, Jordan Poole going there. I told you guys earlier in this video, they were going to rebuild. I don't think Jordan Poole is going to be in their rebuilding process. He is a young player. But I think overall, the Washington Wizards are it's going to be a minute, but they're going to find a good suitor for Jordan Poole, and they're going to trade Jordan Poole to either a contender with some draft picks, a lot of draft picks, or a or a team that's on the rise that has the possibility of becoming a contender. They just need outside scoring, which Jordan Poole can provide. I think the Golden State Warriors wanted to keep Jordan Poole. They wanted to keep Draymond. They wanted to keep Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But with the new rules of the NBA, it was basically going to be impossible to keep that whole squad with the Golden State Warriors. I think also that the Golden State Warriors, they have new leadership. They're going into a new direction. It's just not feasible financially to be over the salary cap and be paying all these luxury taxes. And at the end of the day, you're no closer to an NBA title. I also feel like every team wants to win an NBA title, but it's not at all cost. So you got to look at it that way too. I just didn't see the Golden State Warriors making it as far with Jordan Poole. I think they needed veteran leadership. I just think they need people that can come in and do the small things, the little things, and be there when it matters the most. Now, the Chris Paul has a lot of abilities, but one of the abilities is availability, and Chris Paul is very limited on his availability. But nevertheless, I think this is a good move for the Golden State Warriors. Now they can go all in on Draymond Green. Now we all know that Jordan Poole and Draymond Green had their issues, and you can see last season that those issues did not went away. There was you saw a lot of videos of Draymond Green trying to interact with Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole wasn't having it. I think Jordan Poole was really feeling himself that he got a big contract like this, and maybe him being traded to the Washington Wizards, even though he was a victim in the altercation with Draymond Green, I think Jordan Poole has some growing up to do. And I feel like this will really humble him. And I don't think he's going to be in the plans or the future plans of the Washington Wizards. I think they're going to move on from Jordan Poole and trade him to a contender. They're going to do him a solid. They're going to do him a favor. They're going to trade him to a contender that has draft picks. Maybe seeing Jordan Poole with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's a possibility. All right. Maybe seeing Jordan Poole with the Sacramento Kings. That too is a possibility. I don't see him going to a team such as the Los Angeles Clippers or the Los Angeles Lakers. I just think personally they'll be in the same situation like the Golden State Warriors. They're going to have to eat a lot of those taxes just to keep Jordan Poole in the fold and keep in their squad. Plus, they're going to have to give up something to get Jordan Poole. If the Lakers want Jordan Poole, they're probably going to have to give up Anthony Davis. I just don't see that. If the Clippers want Jordan Poole, they're going to have to either give up the rest of their squad or either Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, and I don't see that either. Okay, so this is a very, I think this is a solid trade. I think this was more of a financial decision than a basketball decision. Who won, who lost? I think both of these teams won, in my humble opinion. I think the Golden State Warriors have been trying to figure out a way to get Jordan Poole off their squad. They finally found their way. Now they're going to have to deal with Chris Paul's salary, but Chris Paul doesn't have an ego. Chris Paul doesn't have an attitude. He's been there, done that. He's battle tested, and there was a lot of decisions in the playoffs where a lot of people were expecting Steph Curry to take the last shot. Jordan Poole took those last shots, and I think he was really feeling himself. I think he was really thinking that he was one of them. He was, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, or Draymond Green. I think, personally, if he would have just waited, and when those guys would have faded off into the sunset, then it would have been his team. I think he wanted to make it his team while they were there. And, we understand that Draymond and Jordan Poole had issues. And you started to see the frustration with Steph Curry. And but mostly this was a financial decision than a basketball decision. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. All right, we're gonna be popping these videos up today. All right, deuces.